Alright, alright. Escaping the matrix will get you to wash dishes for a living. Such a provoking sentence, but it's actually coming from someone who did escape the matrix. By the definition of escaping the matrix of making money in the short period that is much, much more than the average. And yet I'm the same person who decided to use the matrix. Let me clarify. In this video, I would just tell you the untold story that you don't have about 9 to 5. Because 9 to 5 as, oh my god, that is so oppressive. It's almost just 10% of the story. So let's just start with that. Because as we get to know the full story, you will know how much you are missing the two main elements of the human experience by just being like, nah, I just want to escape the matrix. So what is the untold story? Well, it goes back to at the time when kids were just walking the same as men and there was no regularities for it. And this back when was the industry was thriving, back when the early 19th century and circa this area. And at that time, people was not working 9 to 5. Those people were working 5 to 5, 9 to 9, or maybe at least 20 hours per day. Not at least, but that was the average. And also include the kids, and also include the fact that they are oppressed and no one has to get no to the guy who owned the factory, the farm, or whatever. And then across decades and decades of work by dedicated women and men, they were like, no, this cannot be, even though the society was functioning. And we need to put regularities for it. Kid, you go to school. This guy need to have a minimum wage, because below that, you are simply having him as a slave. What else? You don't get him to work for 20 or 5 to 5. He get to rest till 9 to 5. And this was not a proposal that someone submitted to a government and they were like, yes, of course. This took decades. Okay, so now you know that 9 to 5 is actually the best version of the work that you're now so repulsed from. What is escaping the matrix exactly? Well, by definition, just if I want, not even by definition, if I want to say it up front, is make a lot of money in short period of time. Or if you want to have it as a question, what is the maximum output, the highest relative outcome per minimum unit of input? And this is that you just do it no matter of the method, because the matrix is just getting an outcome as fast as possible. And this happens when you generate money. And at this point, by this definition, it doesn't matter if you simply used someone in securities, feed someone's belly, sell shit clothes, or just emptied somebody's bowls. It wouldn't matter. Because the only metric is that escaping, and escaping is making money. As if this pile of paper or even numbers on a screen gonna make you a better individual. There is another method that I used when I escaped or made the money per minimum unit of input, which is a commission-based hustle, especially SMMA, social media marketing agency. And in a matter of 4 months, 3 to 4 months, I managed to make what would my fellow minimum wage friend do in 2 years collectively, if they saved every penny. And this is simply a screenshot from paper, because this is where I have some of them documented. So in a matter of 4 months, I made that which my fellow friend would make in 2 years. But yet I tell you, it's just a loss of potential. How come it is a loss of potential? Well, now allow me to show you a diagram. This is you, this is me, this is the starting point, alright? And then time passes. It can be 4 months, it can be 2 years, it can be 10 years. And at this time, you did make some money. You did some hustle, you did some escape the matrix through drop shipping, SMMA, whatever it is, you find least unit per input at that time. And you actually do get some money and you live. But at the very end of that time, when shit already passes, you are now the same individual, value-wise, as characteristics, maybe not characteristics, but skills and abilities, because you didn't change them out. You just found something that worked, fulfilled, and you said bye-bye. And this will mostly result in you being resentful, because you cannot get that time back. And you know you are the same human being, just older. So they say time is money. And I actually find that as such a humiliating underestimation for the value of time. Because time does not equal money at all. Because whatever unit per money, it cannot buy you a second of time, okay? When you give yourself 5 minutes, okay, but even better, when you stay with your given a friend or a girlfriend for 5 minutes, and she explains how she's feeling or how he's feeling, giving a colleague or something, you're giving him or her the most valuable thing that you have. And I'm not meaning that in a cliche thing, I'm meaning that even mathematically, infinite, all of it, of what we have in money, cannot buy us a second. And if you could have done it, some people back in time, a pharaoh would have built you a pyramid. But you don't get to do that with your time. So what happens? You get resentful. You get panic. And once you're panicked, you try to make money again, and then you spend it, because it's just like money. And you're the same individual. So you panic again, and you stay in this constant loop, and time passes, until you're done, and you don't have a story. You're just distracted, disperse experience. Watching some YouTube playlist, or Webflow, or web optimization, or funneling, or whatever. You make some money. It actually works, but short term. But never built to your intrinsic value. Okay, so what is the alternative? What about if you did the following? Here's the starting point, and here's a name. It's actually higher than you could do anytime now. You need to build up things to do it. You need to acquire some set of skills at that time. Here you get value, because the change between you at that point is pretty noticeable. This change is value. And this change you cannot buy with money. Like, I cannot give someone $1 million and be like, alright, now in a matter of 3 seconds install Chinese, Spanish, English, Arabic in my head. I want to speak all of them. No, you have to put 5 years learning each one of them. So time doesn't equal money. Money has no meaning, actually. Just when you have this bare minimum, you're all good. Time is the most valuable. So what you get to do is to get something as valuable with a change in your abilities as an individual. And this can be starting at any point, because the process here is different. You aim for something, you implement, you reach, you have a better understanding, you adjust, repeat. As the time goes, as a human being, your pathway actually will change. So you may think that you're gonna move like that, but actually you move like that, and then it does change, and it does change, and it does change. But it doesn't matter, because you didn't end up being resentful. You didn't end up being in a panic. It's a part of the process. You just keep adjusting, and there's even a statistical formula for it. It's called the Bayesian formula, or the Bayes formula. You update your prior belief, you get a new probability, you act on it. Again, update your prior probability, act on it, get a new probability, update, until you reach something that you are mostly certain that this is your role. And this process of keep repeating and doing, you're simply pushing your limit. It's a constant process of exceeding. And the thing you get, if you did that long enough, that's a functional role in society. And from people coming from escaping the matrix background, this would generally make a confusion. It's like a functional role in society, man. Like, I want to be a celebrity. I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to have people doing me reels, I want to be on top of the world. What do you mean functional? You mean I have to work? Okay, what do you think people do, generally speaking? Because I don't know what it is that wrong with people escaping the matrix, even though from someone who already did it. So let's say a functional role is by definition a career, okay? So let's just say that you disagree and you will find it actually rather a bad mismatch to say a functional role in society. How dare you? There's a much better way to leverage. I want to be a celebrity, okay? On your Instagram feed or TikTok feed, pick the 5 celebrities that you get. I want you to try that just after the video. The first 5 celebrities you find. Most of them, they're gonna be working in the entertainment business. So, you wanna be one of them? Good. You wanna be in the entertainment business? You don't mind, just be one of them. The thing about entertainment business, it's not a functional role in society. It's not a career. But if you really persist and you wanna know their job description, and you remove all of the jargon of edutainment, entertainment, whatever, and you just go raw 100%, what you will find in the job description is that they identify as a public clown. This is all of them in the entertainment business. It's not that it's unneeded, it's not that it's bad. As a job description and a functional role in society, that's a public clown. So, would you like to be a public clown? You may have some residuals of escaping the matrix inside of you now. You're gonna be like, no, I just want to be a rapper, I want to make music. Man, that is absolutely great. Because also, I did try that. I've learned Fruity Loops, FL Studio, so I can produce, so I can make beats, so I can rap on it. Not only that, I have a music video that I have published on YouTube. But the thing is, when you have it, as I wanna be a music producer as an aim, that's what you want, you implement and you find it. And I did actually produce that music video and I did upload it. But now I have adjusted. I'm not gonna do that anymore. I know it is not for me. But if I have it in that process, on that workflow, I'm gonna be stuck forever. So whatever you have, music producer, celebrity, whatever, put it in this workflow. Aim for something that you can check within at least 3 weeks. Is it for you? Implement. Now adjust. Because I don't know how to tell it to you, but actually doing Fruity Loops helped me in my academia, in my first research publication, my first publication, which I'm gonna show you right now, is in medical imaging. And what we do is that it was a scoring review. Okay, here it is. Oops, here we go. From what you see in here, here's my name. What we did is that we reviewed the diagnostic tools that use data in especially detecting Parkinson's disease. This is not important for today's talk, but what's important is that the way I got to this group is that I simply displayed that I'm interested in research and I have background in video editing, music production, and anything that has to do with media. So even though my input as a researcher was low at that time, my background in video editing and media and Fruity Loops and all of that was really high. So I got accepted in the group and now I have a publication. So look at that. This is exactly how it works. You have a name, you implement, you adjust. And when you adjust, I'm now a researcher. But this helped me in this publication. This increased my value already. Like now as an individual, I have a publication. I already have a portfolio as a researcher. How did it all start? By Fruity Loops, because I did adjust. So this is getting interesting now, because I get you are already digesting the idea of a functional role in society, and the burden of for the career is not as heavy now. So I will give you one more example to show you that career is just the way you get free. For example, I will show you how come most of the people who be like skip the metrics are actually blind. So, for example, skip the metrics by dropshipping. What you're gonna do? You're gonna go to a Chinese website, for example, Alibaba, and you're gonna order some product which costs around $3. You're gonna make a amazing AI looking luxurious web page for selling candles for $20. So you got it for $3 and you're gonna sell it for $20 now. Good profit margin. The thing is, you did not skip any metrics. You did not do anything. Simply Alibaba, Ali himself, did expect you to do that. You are expected to be in that line. A matrix, I mean, in my medical background, what it means is that it is how cells are stacked over each other. So a matrix is which is known. It can be a table, it can be whatever. So if you are expected to be in a certain position and you are actually there, my friend, you are so badly stuck in the matrix. Look at that picture. Okay, Alibaba is somewhere hiding and he knows that you will get here and get his product and sell it elsewhere. He make more money than you and probably more than you ever will. As from the same concept of low effort, high output. The same for media buying is that I'm gonna do SMMA. I'm gonna buy some AdSense on Facebook and Instagram or whatever. Okay, so simply Meta or Mark Zuckerberg have you pay him some money so he can make the algorithm get your post seen to other people. He expects you to do that also, and you're still in here. So if you do what is expected, my friend, you are in the matrix. So what you do about that? Well, you need to pick something that you actually pick. A functional role in society. And as you're going toward it, you just aim for something, implement as fast, and when you're there, you adjust. You update your prior belief and see what you should be doing as a next step. That's even from a statistical perspective as Bayes' law. So, what we're gonna do now? I mean, you 100% know that you don't need a career nor a CV to become rich, but you certainly need them to become an individual, to find a functional role within this thing we call society. So, let's give you one last example. And this, I'm gonna introduce the idea not only of career, but also of CV. Okay, in the community of skimming the metrics, there's these two words are simply prohibited. You cannot be like career and CV. Come on, you 9 to 5 slave. But they are actually missing something. So the word career doesn't mean the corporate 9 to 5 stuck on a desk staring at Excel sheet. Career actually originates from a word that means carres, which is wagon or this wheel that you push along the way. And in Old French is carrier, meaning a road. So a career is you pushing that wheel along that road. So career is the act of constantly pushing and putting in efforts toward what is intended. So you have a destination, aim, you implement, you push the wheel toward it, and along the way you adjust. Okay, so what about CV then? CV, well, abbreviation for a curriculum vitae, which means course of life. So what is a course of life? It's a story. It is the story of how you engaged with the world, given context of that time and the final outcome. It's the full picture of your career. It's the full picture of your road that you picked. It is the something that you picked that no one else expected out of you. So you do not fall in here. If you do what is expected, you're in the matrix. But if you do something that is intrinsic from you, my friend, you're free. You pick your career, you pick your journey, you pick your road. And in the CV, the course of life, this is the story. So what is a story and a road? What is a story and a destination? That is the elements of your human experience. That is what you're missing when you're looking for short terms, maneuvers, named as escaping the matrix, which they are by definition the matrix because you're doing what it you're expected to be doing. So find a functional role, because career and CV, which most people actually escape and discard, are the elements of your human experience. And if I am gonna leave you with something today, I'm gonna leave you with two questions. How would you like to have your journey? How would you like to have your road? And if the answer is a lot of money, just know that you're stuck here. If your answer has to do with pushing a wheel along the road to get to where you want, at least on the short term, as an aim, because you know at the very end you're gonna adjust, this answer is really gonna help you forward, because it will help you develop a story, a unique story to you. And this story is a CV. So allow me to read to you the last sentence that I wrote as a memo for me and for anyone watching is, when you're trying, what you're trying to run from might be exactly what you need the most. Because both of them form the core of your human experience, the career and the CV, or in other words, the road and the story. Those are your core elements of the human experience. Do not sell them for a short term $400, given though I know that in a developing country they can make you relatively a king of the month. But always remember that the main component that we have is time. And if you're gonna exchange time with something, don't exchange it with time. If you're gonna exchange time with something, don't exchange it with money. Exchange it with value that will be always within you intrinsically. And this gonna cultivate you as an individual. You don't need both of them to be rich. But we're not here to be rich. We're here to have a story.